What clingy really means in relationships and how to deal with it. There's a thin line between being a devoted girlfriend and being clinging. Every guy wishes for a kind woman who will look after him like no one else. What girlfriends despise is a maniac that follows them about in their daily lives, not even allowing them to breathe. Is it true that you're that psychotic girlfriend? If that's you, be prepared to become his insane ex-girlfriend. Sticky girlfriends irritate men, and if you want to show your partner you care, you should know better. If you show signs of being a clingy girlfriend, it's not too late to change your ways and rescue your relationship. My friend shared his dating nightmare experience of a girl he met while studying abroad. She'd want to spend all of her time with him and be irritated if he made arrangements with his friends, even if they included her. She requested that he give her his full attention and always tell her where he was. When he tried to break up with her, she threatened him with suicide by checking his last scene to make sure he wasn't avoiding responding to her. We understand how perplexing clinginess may be. You don't want to be both too close and too far apart. Finding the perfect combination of clinginess and distancing is challenging. The truth is that clinginess fluctuates in intensity from one relationship to the next. What may appear as too clingy for one boyfriend may appear to be a lot of love and attention for the other. What exactly does clingy imply? Clinginess is the act of clinging to something to avoid being separated. The word is frequently used in romantic relationships to characterize someone who wants reassurance from their partners in an overbearing, frantic, or even compulsive manner. Clingy means that you rely on your mate for constant reassurance or assistance. Clingy behavior might be affected by factors, such as unfulfilled needs or lack of self-esteem. Clinginess can also seem like a desire to cling to someone we want to approve of, such as a romantic relationship, or it could simply be the excitement of starting a new relationship, which could also lead to them becoming needy and clingy. When women exceed the boundaries of possessiveness, they are in a clingy relationship. They seek a relationship where they're the only ones in it, with no room for their boyfriend's friends, family, or co-workers. They become overly needy and clinging, and their boyfriends seek to shun them. What makes a lady needy and clingy? Is it not true that all women in relationships are clinging and needy? Most clingy women aren't even aware of the negative consequences of their behavior and don't believe they're doing anything wrong. It's as though emotions and love hormones have distorted their judgment and self-awareness. They have a persistent desire to communicate or meet up with their partner. They become psychotic and insane after only a few hours apart. These are symptoms that your girlfriend is in desperate need of your help. Clinginess might stem from the thrill of a new relationship or the fear of heartbreak. The fear of heartbreak from the boyfriend drives her to immerse herself in his life and be a constant presence in it. What is the source of the behavior? Clinging serves as a distinct indicator that a person's attachment system is likely dysregulated. In other words, attachment issues are the root cause of their relational anxiety. Between parent and child, attachment develops in infancy. Attachment style is influenced by how a parent responds to their child. If a youngster is unsure how a parent will react or if the parent's reactions are inconsistent, the child is more likely to form an anxious attachment. Your caregiver attachment type is likely to be the same as the one you create with a love relationship. Nurturing emotionally safe relationships and the feeling that your needs may be addressed and met becomes more challenging later in life if you don't have an early opportunity to create trust with a caregiver. As an adult, you can direct your internal turmoil toward your spouse and what they can do to help you overcome your fears. These attachment patterns can help you understand why some people are more clingy than others. 1. A safe and secure attachment. The majority of people have a stable, healthy attachment pattern. It suggests they are at ease with intimacy and are happier in their relationships. The sense of security stems from having a positive relationship with their parents, which enabled them to go out and explore the world as children while also feeling safe and protected. In adulthood, this translates to not suffocating their partner and trusting them to live a life on their terms, while also understanding when to be intimate, honest, and supportive. Secure people are more tolerant of their partner's flaws and more sensitive to their needs. They wouldn't manipulate or play games since they have a healthy sense of self-worth. Even when in dispute, they can fully express their arguments while listening to their partner's concerns without being unduly defensive. preventing them from becoming trapped in a never-ending loop of criticism and arguing. 2. Anxious attachment style. Due to their often insatiable need for connection, people with anxious attachment styles typically struggle in partnerships. People with anxiety attachment styles have low self-esteem and adore their relationships. Fantasy bonding is frequent, in which a partner is placed on a pedestal and viewed as the ideal relationship. Obsessive emotions and relationship anxiety are typical results. The anxiously attached individual may be clinging and overly dependent due to a profound dread of being alone and losing a relationship. Anxious attachment makes people reactive, overly emotional sensitive, and prone to accepting less in relationships than they deserve. When triggered, the anxiously attached individual, who usually is submissive, can turn hostile. Even when there's no reason to assume that a partner is unfaithful or uncommitted, fears of rejection or abandonment can be overwhelming. 3. Avoidant attachment style. People with an avoidant attachment style avoid relationships altogether or keep anyone new they meet at a distance. They may sabotage their blossoming romances out of nowhere because they are scared their new partner will leave them, so they get in there first. This is an unconscious attempt to make sure that they never again go through anything as they went through with their original caregiver. The irony is that by employing these learned defenses, we are recreating the very thing we were attempting to avoid. People who are avoidantly attached fall into two categories: dismissive and fearful. Dismissive avoidant people tend to separate themselves emotionally from their partners. Fearful avoidants are afraid of being too close or farther distant from their partners. They have difficulty controlling their emotions, are easily overwhelmed, and are prone to mood swings. Common cases and signs of clingy behavior. 1. Persistent reassurance of love and affection is required. It's natural to be curious about your partner's feelings toward you. However, pestering them with questions is not the way to proceed. If you're like me, you've probably asked how they feel about you several times. Do you think I'm attractive? How much do you care about me? Are you sure about that? It goes on and on. You'll very certainly require their undivided attention, kisses, holding hands. It may be too much for the other person, and your relationship will most likely end as a result. 2. You're overly reliant on him. You place far too much emphasis on this friendship. You've forgotten what life was like before him since you've built your entire life around him. You are apprehensive about doing anything without him. You turn to him for help with every tiny problem in your life. These are symptoms that you're a clingy person. To have a good relationship, both partners must have their own lives and interests and other things in common. 3. You constantly want to speak with him. We all cherish the honeymoon period of relationships when you can't take your hands off each other with so much to discuss. You want to chat to each other at all hours of the day and night, and you can't wait to meet again. Things return to normal when the honeymoon phase has passed since your relationship's temperature has been stabilized. Stop talking to him all day, even if the honeymoon period is over. It's disturbing when you keep phoning him or sending him clingy girlfriend text messages even though you know he can't converse. Then you begin video calling him, instructing him to show you where he is hanging out on video. 4. You have to be the center of his universe. Once people enter a relationship, they often forget that they have separate lives. A clingy girlfriend always forgets. You desire his undivided attention. You want him to focus exclusively on you. You want to be the most important person in his life, so you compel him to organize everything around you. We've heard such stories, but this is the one that jumps out the most. After several months of dating, the girl in question has made her boyfriend the center of her life. She spent the entire day calling and texting him, and she began to adopt his hobbies and interests. She even went to the trouble of ordering books online to learn more about his favorite sport, baseball, so she wouldn't have to listen to his excuses about watching the game with his guys. She would even come to his place of employment for lunch since she couldn't tolerate being apart from him. 5. You don't give him enough space. You've gotten so desperate to be a significant part of his life that you've even considered being the oxygen he breathes. You like him to devote an entire day to you, and you'll keep asking him whether he has any thoughts about you. You expect him to give you an update on his location every 5 minutes, and you'll start Fretting if he suddenly stops responding to your texts. Men are more interested in their own space than in anything else. Give him the room he requires, and he will gradually let you in. Allow it to happen on its own if you have the patience to do so. Just don't force it. Don't exhibit the symptoms of a clinging girlfriend. 6. He should be completely focused on you. You desire his full attention. You're enraged and suspicious just hearing him talk of another girl. You get the feeling that you should constantly be on his thoughts, just as he is on yours. Your boyfriend might think it amusing at first. He might even believe it's a sign of affection. Constantly demanding attention will eventually irritate him, and he will want to go. While envy is perfectly natural, you must manage your emotions and show moderation. You don't want to be known as the unstable girlfriend. 7. You're envious of his life outside of you. Your guy is a person with a distinct personality. You don't like it when he makes plans without you. You're envious of his happiness while he's away from you, and you wonder whether his pals make him happier than you. You even go so far as to try to thwart his plans by dragging yourself into them. You're nothing but a clingy girlfriend, and you might just become his worst nightmare. He wouldn't know how to deal with his possessive girlfriend, resulting in clashes and repeated tiffs, and he would eventually dump you. 8. Your suspicions grow. You might not be aware of certain aspects of his life. You'll become suspicious if you don't know where he is. You fill your head with strange thoughts and notions. You'll get paranoid because you're afraid he'll cheat on you. You'll start questioning him frequently and, even if he's telling the truth, you'll want proof. Suspicion is a huge turnoff. It will simply increase the distance between you both and the likelihood of noticing all of the clingy girlfriend traits in you and discontinuing the relationship. 9. There is a sense of insecurity. You have a nagging suspicion that your boyfriend isn't as committed to your relationship as you are. You are uneasy and insecure as a result of this. You may be concerned that your relationship can be under threat if you consider that you are not his only top priority. You make every effort to become his number one priority. You may be significant in his life, but you can't keep looking for confirmation. It's completely normal acceptable for your boyfriend to have things in life that are just as important to him as they are to you. Trust is the bedrock of any healthy relationship, then what are you fighting for if you don't believe in him? Instead of worrying other ladies will be looking at him if he's wearing a leather jacket, compliment him instead. 10. You can't take your mind off of him. It's fun to be obsessed with him. However, if you are continuously thinking about him and your relationship, you will have little time for yourself. You must have a separate existence from your boyfriend. Maintain a healthy balance between your personal and romantic lives. Ensure you don't ignore your friends or isolate yourself from your family when you're in a relationship. Make efforts to be available to your friends and family while also devoting more time to your career path. All of these characteristics will make you more appealing to a man. 11. You have a possessive personality. Every woman is a little possessive of her partner, but too much of it can lead to a relationship's demise. Stop being so possessive. You're obsessed with him. Overly possessive girls begin to treat their partners as if they were their property, and no one else is allowed to look at them. You'll want to scratch the girl's eyes out after a casual conversation between your partner and a female acquaintance. You must be willing to trust your spouse and accept that he will occasionally interact with people of the other sex and may even have female pals. In a happy relationship, irrational jealousy and possessiveness have no place. 12. You're available at all times. If you're always available to him, he will begin to take you for granted. Since he knows you'll always make time for him, he'll only create plans when it's suitable for him, and he won't be afraid to cancel at the last minute. Appreciate yourself and let him know how valuable you are. Do not even put him ahead of anyone or anything. If you had planned to meet up with some friends, don't change your plans because your partner is now available. 13. Stalk him on social media. Social media accounts are a fantastic way to learn a great deal about your boyfriend's life. A picture, like their comments, is worth 1,000 words. But what about tracking his pals, their friends, and their friends' friends? Have you gotten to the point where you're following all of your boyfriend's social media profiles to see where they stand in his life? Why do I sense a clingy lover? 14. You've always wanted to meet his parents. When you are in a committed relationship, it's natural to want to meet his parents. You care about him a lot, and what better way to learn more about him than through the eyes of his parents? You'd like to get to know his parents on a more intimate level, and you'd like them to like you. You keep nagging him to take you to meet his parents regularly. Meeting his parents is a significant step that he may not be ready to do. So believe him when he says he'll do it when he's ready. Don't bother him, and give the process its due time. Strategies for managing clinginess and neediness in a relationship. If your partner can't take it, clingy behavior might be detrimental to your relationship. Even while doing so, you realize you shouldn't be acting that way. You can play mind games with your brain to get it to cease repeating bad habits. It's all about forming new habits and automatic responses. With little self-awareness, you can shift from needy to self-sufficient with these steps. 1. Resolve any trust issues you may have. It is vital to have faith in your mate. Your partner may feel less secure in the relationship if you don't trust them. Trusting your partner could entail anything from not inquiring about their location during the day to reminding yourself that feeling annoyed is best for the relationship. Trust is essential for a happy, long-term relationship. 2. Enhance your self-confidence. In a relationship, self-confidence can go a long way toward making you feel amazing. Self-assured people are less inclined to clutch to others for validation. Positive thinking and self-love are two things to consider. It's a lot easier for others to appreciate and love you if you respect and love yourself first. 3. Go for your passions. Clinginess may become an issue for persons whose lives revolve entirely around their partner. It's critical to set aside time to focus on your objectives and passions. These provide a healthy outlet for your energy and perhaps something to focus your attention on. Rather than focusing solely on your partner, consider directing your attention to something more productive. While still keeping a balanced connection, this will give your significant other some breathing room. 4. Take control of your anxiety. If you're prone to nervousness or worries, it's natural to turn to your partner for consolation. These, however, may make your companion feel too responsible for your pleasure, and it might be an ineffective approach to regulating your emotions. Instead, consider transforming your anxiety into something nice and recurring, like a daily routine or activity. Simply performing routine duties can reduce stress and anxiety and provide you with more positive energy to invest in your relationship. Speak to a doctor if you're constantly nervous or have feelings you can't control. 5. Give everyone their own space. Love does not necessitate that you and your partner be intrinsically linked. Too much intimacy in a relationship can be stressful for many couples. Although sharing ideas, emotions, space, or anything else is beneficial in any relationship, excessive sharing can make your partner feel trapped. Nobody wants to suffocate in a relationship. Giving your partner the space they deserve is the wisest course of action. As a result, your spouse will be less likely to identify your relationship with unpleasant sentiments, resulting in a better relationship in the long run. 6. Take a vacation. Holidays with your companion are splendid, but so are holidays with friends or even holidays alone. They are very different experiences, but you may discover that you see more of a place when you are not engrossed in your partner. Going away for a long weekend or only a few weeks is an excellent approach to give each other some space and become enthusiastic about seeing each other again. Absence does indeed make the heart grow fonder, as long as it is not overwhelming. 7. Be conscious of your body language. When we are among someone we care about, we frequently utilize body language to show affection, such as holding hands or adopting an open posture. Body language, on the other hand, can be a red flag. Clinginess can be physical, emotional, or psychological. It can be troublesome if you feel compelled to touch your spouse all of the time, even if it's just to reassure yourself that they're still there. If you touch someone too much, they may feel physically restrained or reserved, so ensure you respect their boundaries. 8. Discuss the situation. While talking things over with your partner is always a good idea, working through your clinginess may help you come up with a solution that you're both happy with. Perhaps your partner has an issue with one area of your behavior or is uneasy about something. Informing your partner that you're willing to work together to solve the problem shows that you care about their happiness in the relationship. When you work together on a problem, you're more likely to solve it and become less clingy, which strengthens your connection. 9. Expand your social networking abilities. Clinginess is frequently caused by having enough of one thing. If you're starting to feel that your significant other is the only person you see, it's a sign that you need to broaden your social circle. Stepping out and chatting to other people might help you avoid clinging behavior, whether it's going out with friends, joining a book club, or simply visiting your parents. 10. Seek professional advice and guidance. Everyone can change their behavior, but it is always easier and faster when a specialist is involved. In your scenario, you must manage your clingy behavior while also attempting to identify and fix the core causes of that as well. You can connect with someone and chat with them about the causes of your clinging behavior. They'll be able to direct you, offer specific ideas and ways to attempt, and encourage you to persevere when things seem difficult. You can communicate with someone over the internet from the comfort of your home. Conclusion. Being clinging isn't necessarily a negative trait. Clinginess is just one component of a spectrum that spans emotional distance and coldness on one end to healthy degrees of connection on the other, all the way to codependency. As a result, the term clingy refers to a range of previously discussed behaviors. When couples go through periods of intimacy and periods of distance, a little clinginess is natural. A good dosage of personal space is necessary for every partnership to succeed. You can't expect your partner to be excited to talk to you if they pick up their phone and see a barrage of messages from you just because they were busy for half a day, or if you're snooping on your partner's phone without their knowledge or contacting other people in their lives to tell them to back off because you're jealous of the relationship your partner has with them. You need to seek help.